I forgot to take that off. What's going on, everyone?
Hello,
How are y'all doing
everybody.
out there?
What's
Uh,
up? What's up?
This is your friendly neighborhood meta coming at you live with, of course, my co-host, as always, RJ and Blinded Bro. Boys, we're on episode 3.
I know. We're already on episode 3, and we didn't burn down the place. We're still making things happen.
And we're still trotting along as best as we can with the budget that we have. What the hell's going on with the music? There we go. Okay, there we go. Anyhow, today we're talking about all things Gamescom, but before we do that, we're gonna start off with the topic that we always do. What are we currently playing? I will go first if y'all are fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So I recently just finished the Spyro trilogy. I finished
nice.
Spyro 3, platinumed it last night. Had a big sigh of relief. Spyro 3 is a bigger game than I remember it being, and honestly, for a PS1 game, it's pretty big. Like, there's actually a lot, not like big like what we know now, but there's a lot to do, especially with the Reignited trilogy and getting all the completion, like all the trophies, and then there's skill points which unlock concept art. So, but I had a fun time, and I finally accomplished something my child self could not. I have beaten both of the Spyro games I grew up with, which is Spyro 1 and Spyro 3, and I beat Spyro 2 as like icing on top.
Nice, man. Nice.
All right, I'll go to my right. RJ, what have you played recently?
So for me, I've been playing actually a bunch of games. So between second episode and this episode, I played and finished Fallout New Vegas. I did the wild card route. I played and finished all 3 of the Crash Bandicoot games, the original trilogy. And I just started playing Doom 2016. I'm replaying Doom 2016 just to kind of, play that for a little bit and just, get ready for Starfield and actually in a couple days. So,
Yep.
All right, nice. Yeah, Doom 2016 is a load of fun. I only play shooters. I don't know about y'all, but I only play shooters when like I have a very violent urge to kill something. Like I have that internal bloodlust, and I'm like, and then Doom just fits that, or it scratches that itch so perfectly. Rip and tear, as they say.
Right. Yeah, it helps with stress, I guess.
Oh my god! And plus the heavy metal music. Oh, I'm like, yeah, just give me that chainsaw infinite gas, and I'll just go at it. All right, but nice, man. What? All right, so, Braille, what have you been playing recently?
So it's done, as you may know. It's
finished
finished.
You
Yes.
finished Zelda?
Yes. 275 hours. It's
3
done.
episodes later.
Yes.
The irony is this motherfucker's about to dive right into Starfield.
Yeah, I was this close to playing Metroid Prime because I had that on my backlog, and I bought it since like February, right? And I was like, I just don't want. I mean, that game is short, but I'm like, I just wasn't in the mood to play it because I spent so many hours trying to finish Zelda, right? And it was just like insane trying to wrap up everything, but I was able to do it. And now I'm gonna jump into another 300-hour game, which is insane. It's just like,
well,
oh my god!
At least you're gonna be taking a break to play a game you've already beaten, and just play the DLC.
Right. But
I guess I should.
yeah.
I guess I'll just go ahead and say this. Now, because honestly, by the time this comes out, we should have already put out a video. Because we all are getting Starfield. Myself, RJ, and Braille are all getting Starfield. And we decided what we're going to do is from the date of early launch, which we're also all doing. So the 31st. From the 31st,
so the way that they're doing it is that on August 31st at 7 p.m. local time, I think, or 8 p.m. local time. uh, game will unlock, so we're going to start playing. So we're all going to be doing that whole weekend playing the game.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna be playing. We're all gonna be playing Starfield. I may record some of my gameplay. I don't know, but yeah, we're gonna be all playing Starfield from August 31st all the way to September 4th. We're gonna be playing, getting our, doing our thing, doing whatever we want, doing whatever we do with our character, creating them however we want, and letting them loose upon a galaxy, literally. And then, on the 4th, we're going to come together. We're going to talk about our experiences with the game, how far did we get in, and all of that. And yeah, just give like our first-hand impressions, basically, of how we feel about Starfield, and how high will it be. How high it gets on Metacritic is going to be interesting, because I'm seeing two sides of the narrative for Starfield, right? There's the one side that says that it's going to be a media darling, and then there's the other side saying the media is biased towards Xbox. So if this gets a low Metacritic score, it's because Xbox is definitely the people are biased towards Xbox in the media. So this is going to be an interesting thing, really.
I mean, Fallout 4 reviewed pretty well. I mean, The Witcher 3 came out that same year, but
that was pre-Microsoft acquisition. This is like
Bethesda's I don't know. Well, that whole narrative, like, there's so much weird stuff going on with Starfield. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen the recent controversy with the tiles. Like, it's just
with the loading screen, and now people are complaining about
they're complaining about the loading screen.
Well, no, sorry, the start screen, but also too, they're complaining about oh my God, there's invisible walls. How dare there be invisible walls?
No shit, there's invisible walls. There's invisible walls in Spyro.
They thought that the controversy stems from people misinterpreting the idea that you can land anywhere on a planet and explore the entire planet. That's not how the game works. And they even said that, but so many people have misinterpreted what the saying was that now it's a whole controversy. So, I mean, this never happens with PlayStation, by the way, or Nintendo. It's only Xbox. It's like, why? I don't get it.
So are you saying that you agree that there is some bias toward Xbox in games media?
I would say this is probably the most, the best example of it. Because it's like, why is there so many weird... I call them non-controversies because they're not controversies at all. Like, it's only one person picked it apart and got upset, and the tweet blew up. That's what that is.
There was the puddle incident for Spider-Man,
right? Which was they stamped that out quick though, because it was dumb too.
It was
dumb. Yeah.
I've said this for a long time, and I think it's been more evident as of late. But I don't know what it is lately, but I feel like there is such vitriolic hatred towards Microsoft and Xbox, particularly from Sony fanboys, to where it's just they view Starfield as this ultimate evil game that they have to try and tear down because they view it as such a threat, which is so stupid and idiotic in a variety of reasons. But I've never seen so much complete and utter nonsense regarding controversy and anger. And the thing is the people who are getting angry at Starfield for all these stupid reasons aren't even planning on playing the game. Yeah. So I don't know what the purpose of this is, except for just to start shit online or to get clicks,
Yeah.
There was also the Forspoken bullshit as well. I just remembered that one too. These controversies are.
But that one I think was kind of valid. I'm not gonna lie about that one. If you're talking about the dialogue,
not just the dialogue, the game itself. There's just so many problems with it. Apparently, I don't know. I do, the dialogue was called Joss Whedon-esque dialogue, and I'm like, oh my God, is that what we're calling this type of dialogue now?
Well, it is. That's where it came from. So I hate that dialogue too. It needs to stop. It's so annoying. We talked about this before, yeah.
Okay, so let's do a recap. I'm in a strange world and I don't know. It's like, oh, please stop.
Mhm.
And my bracelet can talk. Why?
Yeah, it's just, oh god.
Anyway, but all right. So, but yes, just to once again go over it. We're all going to be covering Starfield. Again, by the time this comes out, we should have already put that video out. We're planning on releasing that on the 6th. So next Wednesday.
Yeah,
So,
the actual official launch day. It's not early access. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hope that y'all have watched that, and if you haven't, please go back and watch that, because I do think that it's going to be a very interesting discussion about potentially probably one of Xbox's biggest wins. I'm gonna say since Halo 3. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Halo 3 was a very big deal for Microsoft, and I haven't heard this much cheering and jeering since then. Hi-Fi Rush was a success, but it's not like this is not like.
Well, that was
Halo
a shadow
levels.
drop too. That was like it was a brand new IP. It was a shadow drop that came out of nowhere.
Right, but like this Starfield has the same level of level and presentation and everything that Halo 3 does to me. Like this is a big game for Xbox. So
Right.
yeah, that's why I'm saying that. But all right. Moving on to our main topic, we are going to be talking about Gamescom, all things Gamescom. So as you may have seen, we did do a reaction live to Opening Night Live, and our thoughts watching it in the moment were, what in the hell is this? It went from shock and awe to mostly boredom to confusion to to chortling with rapturous glee at just how insane this was. That it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while to settle with us. What do we think about? What do we think about Opening Night Live now that it's all said and done? I'll start with you, bro. What do you still think that we gave it the fair grade of? I think you said you gave it like a C or a D.
I get like a C-. I think.
I would give it a D. Yeah.
Do you still think?
Yeah, I still have the same thoughts. I mean, I was surprised by the reaction, because after we stopped streaming, we saw everybody's reaction. Like, some people are giving it a B. Some people are like, this was better than Xbox's showcase. It was just like the takes were insane. Like, I get it. There wasn't a lot of stuff to show. The updates were cool, but like, was it needed? Was it a good waste? No. Was it a good 2 hours? No, it was a waste of 2 hours, right? So
you almost said, was this a good waste of time? And it's like,
yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No, yeah, exactly. exactly. So it's yeah, I still have the same thoughts on it. I think, you know what was funny? After the show, they had a bunch of announcements that were much better, where you're like, why?
Bruh.
You could have put this in the show. Like, come on. Like, so yeah.
I mean, honestly, RJ and I talked about this. That night or early the next morning. It's one of the topics we're going to talk about. But they showed the Persona 3 information, and I'm like, why wasn't this at Gamescom? This would have been a big W for the event.
It would have at least spiced things up a little bit.
It would
exactly. Yeah.
Because they released so much information this past time around, which is great. But yeah, so. We didn't really talk about it that much during the stream, but there was also the pre-show, and there were a good few announcements in the pre-show. I think that got me more invested.
That pre-show was so weird, though. That pre-show was just bizarre.
They were trying to be like Devolver. They were trying to do like Devolver with how like crazy Devolver showcases are, but Devolver just has it down to a science on how to do like what the fuck weird levels of announcements. Like it's just like their previous one still scars me, by the way. That shit is haunting. I'm never watching it again, even for a replay.
Oh man, yeah, that one was
that shit's morbid.
It was
It's morbid as fuck. I'm not watching that.
What was the other? There was another company that did like a really creative presentation. I'm totally blanking on what it was.
If
Where
it
they
wasn't
went back in
Grasshopper.
time. Do you remember that?
Oh, I think that was also Devolver.
Was it? Okay.
Maybe a different one, but yeah, they always do. Like they had Suda51 on one of them as a special guest. It was great.
Right.
But yeah, but again, though, like the actual announcements during the pre-show had me more excited than the actual show, which you don't want to do that. You don't. That's like if I'm building a wrestling event, I'm not gonna have, my main event be this pre-show and then have a battle royale to end this. This isn't gonna fly. Like I want all the good stuff in the show. So RJ, are you of the same opinion that like you're still sticking with what you gave it when it came out? Or are you gonna be on it?
I think personally for me, I'm gonna probably give it like, because if I'm judging it off of the announcements and what was actually shown, it's like a C-. If I'm judging in terms of like the actual show itself, it's like a D+. So I think I'm just gonna go with the C- though, because like there were some games I did like seeing. There was some decent stuff there that like at least kept me entertained, but presentation wise, it was not it. Like overall, like structure wise, like I just was not it.
And then of course there was the terror of the German airwaves. He made an appearance at Gamescom. I told you when that stream happened that the internet would find out who he is. And god damn if they didn't do that. They found out who he is.
Yeah, he did this before.
He does this on the German news. He went on the German news and did this.
Absolutely insane.
And they kicked his ass out, like just ban him from events. Like, I'm serious, bro. Like,
yeah, and his buddy was so irrelevant that no one even noticed he was on stage.
Well, he was trying to get on front of the camera with this t-shirt, but like it didn't work out, so you could barely read what the t-shirt said. So all the attention went to the guy talking on the mic.
Right. Which was funny that guy got swept under the rug, though. It was like, what a fail.
I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of support I saw for my message about Jeff getting better security. And some people were like, well, what is he supposed to do? And some people were actually really funny and clever with it. Like, threatened to doom kick them off the stage. Like all these other great ideas. Like call up Kevin Feige and find out who's his hitman so that he can work for the Game Awards.
Oh man.
Like, oh my god. But yeah, 100%. Like people just didn't understand that you could put guardrails up. You could have like guardrail, like have the people who are supposed to be receiving awards in certain areas. That's what they do. I know that. Well, that's not what they do for like the Golden Globes and stuff. But the Golden Globes also isn't a fan event. Like there aren't fans mixed with the celebrities and the people. It's just them. It's just the people. So if you're gonna do that, maybe have like a section for the nominees and then have a section for fans. Like Jeff has to do something better when it comes to his security, because this time it was just some jackass trying to get attention. But we live in a crazy world now, and something far worse could have happened.
Right. Yeah, that is also a good point too. I mean, it's Germany, which is a little bit safer, but like in the States and some other places, man, I don't know what they're doing.
Even Germany's had a few instances throughout history where some crazy guy has just went off and done some stuff. I'm not even talking about the obvious. I'm talking about like something that happens far too often here in the States. Let's put it that way. I don't want to actually say the event, but yeah, that could have happened.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That could fucking happen. Or it didn't even have to be like that type of weapon. It could be something that's far more just pointy. Because that happens a lot. That happens a lot too. So yeah, Jeff just needs to do a better job. I hope he does take that criticism to heart and does something. I think separating the fans from the actual nominees, if people say, "Oh, that looks classist," but it's to keep everyone safe.
Right.
Like put guardrails up, put security near the guardrails, like a wrestling event. At wrestling events, they have the security near the barricade because they know dumbasses are going to jump it.
Right.
Some
Yeah,
still
where the
do.
security guards here, they were scattered all over the place. They had to walk to the stage. It was like,
Yeah, they were too.
what is going
they were
on
too
here?
Spread out. They were too
Yeah.
spread out. Like either hire more people so that that's not an issue, or have it to where they go on patrol routes like very frequently. Like like anyway, there's security is a whole thing that I just hope Jeff takes to heart more, so that we don't get another instances like happened at the Game Awards and this year's Gamescom.
Right.
All right, but yeah, and my thoughts are the same too. I don't think this was the best show. I still think pound for pound Summer Games Fest. If we're talking about like Jeff Keighley game shows, so far Summer Games Fest was the best one.
Right.
Summer
Yeah.
Games Fest was better than Gamescom this year. So we'll have to see if the Game Awards announcements are better than Summer Games Fest. But yeah.
Yeah. One can hope.
One can hope. I gave that shit a D.
Yeah.
All in all, like I gave it a D.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. But I mean, he did try to warn us, so I'll give him credit for that. But
like you said though,
yeah.
like he even though he set the expectations low, like they were below that.
Right, yeah, they were below that.
So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into talking about some of the other big announcements from Gamescom. Let's see. So of course, Stalker 2. There was Stalker 2 gameplay shown. It looked pretty cool. Did you see the Stalker 2 footage, Braille?
I did not see the Stalker 2 footage.
Okay,
but
well,
they did. Didn't they delay it again?
they did, because for those that don't know, the creators of the Stalker series are based in Ukraine, and they're having to literally fight for their lives. So.
Right.
This is what happens when events like this happen in history. The entertainment gets delayed, and people have to focus on the more severe issues. But they said here, it says Heart of Chernobyl's old school approach. I want to say that I am reading this off of IGN's website. I know IGN hit or miss, but just stay with me here. Heart of Chernobyl's old school approach is great news for the original game's dedicated fan base, but I'm not sure what it means for more mainstream players who are being coaxed into its orbit by Microsoft's big Game Pass push. They are likely better served by Metro Exodus, the other Soviet bloc shooter that, despite being 4 years old, feels more modern than anything in this demo. But for those with the tolerance for rough edges and a hunger for something that's unlike anything in the contemporary console space, Stalker 2 could be something to keep an eye on. That's IGN's thoughts of the Stalker 2 footage.
Yeah, I mean, Stalker has always been pretty popular. So I mean, I think that getting a sequel should be pretty good. So
yeah,
I think, like I said, like they have to focus on making sure they still have a home before even thinking about this game.
Absolutely.
This is why delays, like I'm fine with delays. This is a very good reason. That's the most important reason for a delay. Your home is being threatened. Defend that shit. Like,
right.
But yeah, I am looking forward to. I do have the Stalker games through GOG. I do intend to play through them at some point, and I'm hoping to add this one to my collection as well. Up next there was, let me see. There's a lot of games. Ooh. And of course, because, let me see. So there is a game here called Akatori, and it is, IGN describes it as a stylish Metroidvania with some slasher platforming thrown in. That'd be cool. Let's see if I can pull up.
Was that announced on opening Night Live?
No. Again, this is stuff that was announced on the show after opening Night Live.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna ask. Do we want to? No, probably not, because of potential copyright. I don't want to risk it.
Well, you can show video and stuff. It's just that it has to be on mute.
Okay, well then I may pull this up in just a moment.
Yeah. That's like so for those who are wondering how to get past YouTube copyright systems, you can show gameplay footage and you can show trailers. Just have them on mute. That's how it works.
unless you don't care about that, in which case show it to your heart's content. All right, cool. Here we go. I've been trying to keep these more auditory because, in the chance that we do make this into a proper podcast, but I'll worry about that shit later. All right, so that is loud.
Yeah.
Also turn that off. No, God.
Hey, look, it's Black Panther.
That was a Okoye.
Thank you, IGN.
Thank you, Dark Souls. All right, let me also hold on.
See, why didn't they show this on Opening Night Live? I would have actually liked to have seen this.
All right, let's see. Oh shit!
Yeah, this actually looks fun. Like, I actually like the way this looks.
Ooh, we got combos in this. Oh my God!
See, I like that. It actually looks kind of cool.
Yes. How the hell do I get out of this? There we go.
Hmm.
So that was a Akatori.
Yeah, Akatori.
What did y'all think of that?
I like that.
Yeah, it looks decent.
I would check that out.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going to keep this going. Billy Bust Up is a musical 3D platformer. So let's see what Billy Bust Up looks like.
Humble. I didn't know
Giddy
Humble
Goat
published
Games. Giddy Goat Games.
Trying to steal my stuff, are we? Well, that's not very nice.
What the hell is going on?
Oh my God.
That's interesting. Here's what I will say though. It looks cool. I like the concept. It's definitely unique for a 3D platformer. I just get the horrible feeling I'm gonna get annoyed very quickly.
Oh no!
I'm gonna get annoyed very quickly.
Let's sing along. RJ, are you not a musical fan? Do you not care for Broadway?
Yeah, I'm not too much of a musical guy now.
You don't love
it depends on the
theater.
musicals.
The theater's as old as time itself.
You know,
I
don't know.
I like some musicals, but when it insists upon itself, I'm like, I'm out. I am out, bro. But that looks interesting. I do think there's going to be a unique platformer. Is it wrong for me to say, and I don't mean this in the sense of like art style, but like, I feel like this is a game that was somewhat inspired by Cuphead. I mean, in terms of it, like, it gives off I'll say that it comes off as like a Saturday morning cartoon to me. Like looking at it again with the
I can kind of see that, yeah.
like this character, like, this is like a Saturday morning cartoon to me, and I love this. Also, he's the he's gonna cause some nightmares. There's gonna be something to say about that, but all right. What did you think, Braille, of Billy Bust Up?
Yeah, it did look pretty good. So I mean, I'll check it out and see. Not sure when it drops, but there's a lot of interesting platformers.
These are all these are just all announcements. If you're saying wish list, that means like they're still very much in development.
Right.
It is interesting that it's coming, like you said, it's coming from Humble Games, though. That's interesting. Okay, so this is another one. This one looks interesting to me as well. Back to the Dawn is a prison survival and escape RPG with a twist. Damn.
I customize my prison cell.
Probably. Ho ho ho.
Animal Crossing in prison.
So basically, where Tom Nook is gonna go.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
For tax evasion. Dude, this looks cool.
Basically, prison break, but with animals. I can dig that. I can dig that.
Yeah. Reminds me of Cult of the Lamb. Yeah.
Where were these games? Where were these games at?
Yeah,
Even
they
during the
just
pre-show.
these are the ones that should have gotten the spotlight. Yeah.
Back to the Dawn looks to be an interesting take on the prison break genre, as it takes you as a framed journalist who needs to fight for their freedom. What makes this game just a bit more special, however, is that everyone is a different animal. Ooh, okay. Have we seen this one, RJ? Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus?
Yes, I think we did. Might have been at the Game Awards they showed this.
I don't
could be
remember
wrong,
this
though.
game. Anyway, let's take a look at Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus. Another humble game. I'm already loving this.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. I just don't remember where. Because it reminds me a lot of like Ori a little bit.
It reminds me of Hollow Knight. Yo, I am loving this.
Yeah. Like I said, this reminds me a lot of like Hollow Knight and Ori. It's definitely what I get vibes of.
And since Silk Song doesn't seem like it's coming out anytime soon, dog, look at this artwork. I yes. Just yes. Yes to all of it. This game is inspired by Japanese folklore. This 2.5D action platformer, Bo, the Path of the Teal, got a new trailer at Gamescom. Shows off platforming compatibility. Yeah, so it's a game that, again, was announced. But if this is a game that was already announced, again, this would have been a great title to show during. What this is basically proving is that, like, I feel like the wrong games got the announcements or got the
Well,
spot.
but see, this is kind of where the issue becomes though a little bit, is because some of these are going to be indie games. So it's like they deserve, like, I'm not saying they don't deserve their spotlight. Obviously they do. Obviously, I'm not saying they don't. But it's an issue of where do we kind of like, because what draws the most eyes are those bigger games, right? So it's just an issue of just how you balance that, I guess.
Okay.
It's tough.
Now this one may get us because it's rated M, but I'm willing to risk it because this looks cool. So this is the Inquisitor, and no, we're not talking about
Okay.
Star Wars Inquisitors.
Although that'd be awesome, but
Oh, what?
Welcome to Königstein, Master Inquisitor.
Do you really believe there's a vampire hiding in town?
We found the body. A farmhand working the stables. There's only one way to find out. You lie. Tell me what really happened.
So, the bloodsuckers are still around, are they?
Be vanquished in my name. Amen.
What even?
Oh man. Wait. So, am I understanding this? You play as Jesus?
No. Hold on.
Because that's what it looked like in the beginning.
Hold
there.
on. The Inquisitor is inspired by the book series I, the Inquisitor by Jack Perkin. So this is based off of a novel series.
Right.
I hate that I have to go back down. Become Inquisitor, Mortimer Maturin, and solve crimes or reveal secrets that have stayed that way for far too long. That's all they
Okay.
gave for this game. That is insane. Although, look, notice a lack of a certain console on there. PC, Xbox, PS5. No
Hmm.
Switch.
Well, yeah, of course
So-
it's not coming to Switch though. I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh. It kind of does me because a lot of stuff has been coming to Switch, like The Witcher and all that stuff. So, I don't know. And of course, Black Myth Wukong, that was shown during the actual event. Lies of P, the Pinocchio Soulsborne game. That looks interesting. Off the Grid. Oh, this is the director of Gran Turismo.
Yes, that's Neil Blomkamp, famous sci-fi director,
District
director
9.
of District 9, all that stuff. Yeah.
Did we see this at the showcase?
No.
It did get a gameplay trailer at opening night live.
Oh, it did. Okay, never mind.
I remember this game. I think I do remember the game now that I look at it, but
Yeah, I don't remember that game either.
okay.
A lot of those games were a blur.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. It's 8 minutes. I'm not gonna do that. God, I'm getting that physical. Like a Dragon is gonna be one of my games for November. Homeworld 3, Payday 3. Okay, do we want to talk about Project Mugen?
You mean anime Spider-Man?
Well, we have
Oh,
that already.
this is the
It's in-
game. This is the game, right? Oh,
No, I don't want to actually watch you talk about it. I don't want to see them talk about it. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the trailer.
That did look very suspicious. I won't
That
lie.
looked
Project
like it was
Mugen.
like, hey, can I copy your homework?
Project
Yeah,
Mugen is
way
one of the
too
biggest
much.
bigger surprise of Gamescom. This free-to-play urban open world RPG not only looks like a fusion of Cyberpunk and Genshin Impact, but it also looks to players traversing the world right out of Spider-Man. Project Mugen senior marketing director. What does this word mean, folks? Marketing director? That means they know how to talk about the game. They know how to push the game. They know what to say during interviews. They know the right things to say so that nothing leaks out. It looks nice and clean. I hate when those are the people that talk. I hate when those are the people because it's corporate. It's corpo. It just sounds glossed over. I'll pull up a trailer for Project Mugen because it looks it's insane. The Path of Exile. We got Off the Grid. Did that get a trailer? Oh, we were just talking about that, right? Is that not what's up here? Yeah, Off the Grid. Another they got so this has 2 Off the Grid. Then of course Alan Wake was there. Forza. Deathground looked interesting. Okay, so this is Lord of the Rings: The Return to Moria. So, what are we not doing any interviews?
The Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, it says it'll come out October 24th on PS5 and PC as an exclusive.
It's gonna be another Gollum game. It's gonna.
Do we know that though? Do we really?
I don't think it's gonna be any good. I honestly.
Which one is this one? Is this the
This
one
is
with
the Lord of the Rings game where you play as the dwarves?
the doors? Oh, okay, yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
Yeah. This.
yeah. I don't know if it'll be Gollum, but yeah.
Okay, let me clarify. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as Gollum was because that might be the worst game.
But who
released
asked
this
for
year.
this?
Well, it's not like a who asked for this. I mean, this could be cool. I think the issue is I just don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be mediocre. Is my problem.
I see the memes already.
Like it feels like it's going to be like a crafting game, you know, where you're
The
just gonna-
gamers yearn for the mines. Plus, it plays this game, proceeds to then follow up by blasting Diggy Diggy Hole. That's what I would play. That's what I would play musically.
I mean,
while I
this
played
might be
game.
okay, but like I don't see anything remarkable about it. You know?
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Yeah, this was announced like what, last year?
Yeah, this was announced a while ago. We're finally getting gameplay now, though.
This gameplay though, like, what do y'all think of this? Like, I am sure. Let me do this. I am like, what do y'all think of this gameplay?
It's Minecraft.
Minecraft. Exactly what I was
Minecraft.
thinking.
Yeah,
Which
Minecraft
I get
in
it.
third
You're
person.
a dwarf. Of course, it's gonna have mining and all that. It's a game
But
about
they're
the
also
mines.
blacksmiths. It's gonna make people.
But
weapons.
like, what am I supposed to garner from this? Like, am I just gonna be mining for resources?
Maybe it's
and
a sim
making
game.
stuff? But that's boring.
Okay, so
you'll
this
get
is a
the Minecraft
what is
story.
this exactly? A survival
Let me
game
see
where
if I
you
can
do what
find an
exactly?
actual description. Hold on.
I mean, looking at this, it looks like it's like a resource game where like you're mining for resources, you're bringing it back to your home base, and you're making stuff with the resources you get. Which
Yeah,
I've seen that kind of game formula a million times before.
I almost called this Lord of the
yeah.
Rings Mines of Moria. That's Return to Moria. Return to Moria. Yeah, it's a survival crafting game focused on exploration, base building, and extraction of resources. That's what this is. It's Minecraft, but with Lord of the Rings. Which they could have just added a Lord of the Rings pack. Let's be real. I can't believe I have to go all the way back down. Anyway, so yeah, that Embracer now owns the Lord of the Rings IP. I don't know if they allow these games to be made, but I really think
I
they
don't
need to
know
be
who's making these games, but man.
who,
We need to sit down and have an intervention.
who let these people in the kitchen to cook? Bro can't cook. Like, I don't understand. I just say that Embracer needs to be. They need to be very selective with who gets to make games for Lord of the Rings because that IP needs. It used to have prestige in gaming. In all honesty, to me, it did at least. I'm not even that big of a Lord of the Rings fan in general, but I love the games. The games were just so much fun to play. Let's see. Then we got, of course, Cyberpunk. That was another big one shown. Marvel Snap coming to PC. That was a big deal because apparently that game is very, very fun. And I heard that Wayfinder is a love letter to MMOs like WoW and Destiny. I don't have to look it up. Here's the trailer. Okay.
Jesus.
Let's see. So Project Mugen is coming to PlayStation, PC, and mobile devices. So let's see Project Mugen. Has anyone seen this trailer before I play it?
I've seen the gameplay. I've seen some of it. Yeah, I've seen some of
Yeah,
this.
I've seen some of it.
Oh God, let's just show it to the people.
RJ does not sound impressed.
Guys, we have Persona 5 and Spider-Man at home. We have every other game at home.
You need to stop.
It looks like they just ripped every other game off. I mean, guys, you have Grand Theft Auto at home.
Bro, like, come on. I don't think it looks that abhorrent.
It's pretty bad.
ジュラでいられるのかしら。願いが叶いやすいように、私が空に流れ星を流してあげる。
Oh damn.
ジャイアントと隕石がこの町を滅ぼすって言われてたぞ。
まだわからないのか。真の悪役がお前
Yeah, Breath of the Wild at home.
この町を破壊したのはお前たちだろう。さあ、終焉を楽しもうじゃないか。
She's a big woman.
つまり、これで終わりってことね。
まだ負けを認める時じゃない。
Nope. Any
We have
lyrics?
Spider-Man at home. Who needs Spider-Man 2? We have this.
We have Splatoon at home.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this blatantly
This just
looks
doesn't
like
appeal
they
to you.
just... It's not even that. It just looks like it's a very, like, video game where I feel like they just took a bunch of concepts and gameplay design philosophies from other developers and just stuck, hey, what if we made it like with anime and put like waifu bait all over this to make money? You know?
I'm so curious.
Like this feels like a
hold on,
very
hold on.
like
Bro, like,
cynic.
what are your thoughts?
I mean, the Spider-Man part is kind of funny to me because it's like, did they straight up lift the animation from Spider-Man? Like, it
It's
looks
the exact
identical.
same animations, like the running on the
Yeah.
wall and the
Yo,
swinging. It is the exact same
one.
animation.
I'm not even trying to play contrarian. I just like it wasn't.
I mean, besides that, I mean, I'm like, okay,
It
like,
looked fine, but it just like
yeah.
I just
I'm
don't
gonna
get
watch.
it.
I'm gonna. How about this? I'm gonna quote Palpatine and say, "I will." I will. How did he put it? Oh, that shit's right here too. Then okay, cool. Where the hell? Oh shit! I missed RoboCop. We're gonna talk about RoboCop next. Basically, I'm gonna watch it with. I'm gonna watch this game's development with great interest. If it looks like something I'll do, it's free to play. I'll put it on the PlayStation, pop it in, and give it a whirl.
Good luck.
I will, Archie. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but like the RoboCop game was another one I looked at with great interest because RoboCop is an IP that I fawn over or I'm like the biggest fan of, but it's a cool IP, and get a FPS game with RoboCop sounds like it has all the best ideas in mind. So have y'all seen this at all?
Who was the developers behind this game?
So the developer of this game, and this is where I get a little nervous. It is the same developer who made years ago. They made the Rambo, the video game.
Right.
But they also made 2 Terminator games, the first-person shooter Terminator games, which
Right. Those are bad.
decent
Okay.
reviews, but not great. They have been getting better. I think they're called Tekion. Let me look up their name real quick. Oh, Teon. Teon. Yeah, they made Rambo the video game, Terminator Resistance, and now RoboCop Rogue City.
Right.
And I heard Terminator Resistance was actually good.
Terminator Resistance was okay. It got okay reviews. It wasn't as bad as Rambo the video game was because that was a disaster.
Well, Angry Joe reviewed that
wasn't
game. It
great.
was that bad.
Rambo the video game is notoriously bad.
Notoriously bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was reminding me because I was like, yeah, who were the developers again? This game does remind me of Rambo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the reviews for Terminator Resistance. Metacritic, the game has a 60 on PC, 47 on PS4, 62 on PS5, 55 on Xbox One. Destructoid gave it a 4. Eurogamer gave it an avoid. IGN gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Because this looked like an on-rail shooter. That's what it looks like.
Well, they make very linear games. They do make linear
Oh,
games.
look at that.
Because
Right.
they are a
One
smaller
of the cops was
developer.
actually bothered to show up. No need. SWAT's got it covered.
What is the situation?
I mean, they did.
Yeah, I
bring
don't
back,
have high
Just
hopes
came
for
up with a
this.
great idea.
They
I
did
love
bring back
RoboCop,
Peter
but yeah.
Weller, though. I mean, that
Yeah,
gets
they
some
brought back the
point.
original RoboCop.
I
So
mean, that is cool. Just, man.
They're robbing the OCP bank. They've got hostages, and they claim there's a bomb.
Like, look at
It must
this.
be
Like
crazy to
this,
think that
I get it.
OCP would just
Okay, they're
leave
small
with their
dev,
money.
but
Was there any sighted?
this
This
doesn't look that bad to
just-
me.
Not yet.
this looks.
But I'm sure
I
they
don't
wouldn't
know, man.
lose
This
it
They
does not
got
look good.
they got some iffy animations, but
Yeah,
if
the
if
animations.
the gameplay is fun,
Let me make this clear.
then
It's
that's what I
SWAT's
need.
plan. You're no part of it.
Then you are going to need a new plan.
This looks so good, Lord. Oh man.
Maybe if it's on sale, I'll pick this up. But I mean,
There's
I want,
no
I want
sound.
this to
What's
be-
going? What is
No,
going on here?
it-
There's no sound effects. Like,
With this buggy brain of
okay,
yours, you
that
think you
was
still remember how to put the
incredibly
heat on them
awkward.
scumbags?
I prefer to serve justice cold.
I mean,
And
it
his
might be
mouth
good-
wasn't
it might
moving.
be
Oh,
good
good
for
Lord.
actual gameplay. Here we go.
Our metal friend. How is it, boys?
Like I said, if it's fun to play, I can excuse some of the jank. It's fun. This might be one of those. Okay, I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, so the environment shows you places you can shoot for like better angles and shots.
Yeah,
and
yeah, like
stuff.
special kills. Yeah,
Yeah, special kills.
that is
that's
cool. I do like that. That aspect looks really neat.
This looks. Oh man. This seems really stiff. Like,
Well, I mean,
I don't know how
RoboCop has
this
a character.
plays.
RoboCop, so I mean,
I get that, but
you can't
but
run
that
it.
does not look. That does not look good. I'm sorry.
Like I said, this might be a game that needs a little bit more time in the oven. Plus, two, this might be the kind of game that'd be best for like $40.
Well, I mean, it was
you know?
it was announced in 2021, and now
Yeah,
they're
didn't this get delayed too? It got delayed a couple of times.
It got delayed, but it like yeah, so it got announced in 2021. It got delayed a bit, and they're showing gameplay now. Like, this is the it's 16 minutes of exclusive gameplay. But
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that also there's a kill count. There's a kill count.
This is
score.
looking really rough. This might need some polish or something, because
I mean, the gameplay itself looks
Damn.
solid. It's just like shooting at least, you know. I think it just might need more time in the oven for like visuals and fidelity, and I think it
I'm
might need
skipping a
more
bit.
time.
Oh my god!
That was a slow mo.
Now I'm gonna rewind just to see that. Oh! So he can just breach and like, bro.
I mean, I do feel like it's at least capturing the feeling of like feeling overpowered, like RoboCop, like being like a one-man army.
Yeah.
I can see this being kind of stiff though, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah, even if it is okay, RoboCop stiff, but like you don't want to play a stiff first-person shooter. It is not a. It's not good.
Well, I mean, it's also again, it's more like the way I'm looking at it is more like RJ said, like a rail shooter. So like House of the Dead.
See, I don't think
Yeah.
it didn't look like a rail shooter to me. It looked like rail shooter elements though, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looked. I mean, yeah, I agree with RJ. It looks like it's not on rail, but at the same time, the stiffness and the way the enemies are coming, I don't know how that's going to work. I wouldn't be surprised if it reviews like their other games. Like that
It,
just did not
it
look
probably
good.
will. Here's the thing though. I might play it, but I would definitely wait for a sale. I would not pick that up day one. I'd
Yeah.
wait for a sale.
Even
Yeah,
the other trailers look better than whatever that gameplay showcase was. That was,
Yeah, Braille's our resident FPS guy. And honestly, I've been talking to him about some FPSs. And speaking of FPSs, I think RoboCop is a great transition to these other two announcements. It was on there. I guess I could show the trailer, but for right now, or show the trailers, but for right now, I'm just gonna talk about them. So, Night Dive Interactive is a company that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love them because a lot of games from the older gens are getting ported, and they, for the most part, take really good care of them. The Blade Runner port they did get some backlash because it was horrid to the point where they had to actually bundle the original game in with the remaster so that people could be compensated because if they didn't want a refund or whatever. But for the most part, Night Dive does good work. They recently were successfully able to do a Kickstarter to remake the first System Shock, and that came out, and that's a blast. I've been playing the PC demo of that. It's amazing. So, but another series they've ported, one of the series they ported is Turok, and they've already ported Turok 1 and 2, and it was announced on November 14th, Turok 3 Shadows of the Oblivion is leaving the N64 and is coming to all modern consoles. So PlayStation 5/4, Xbox Series at /1, Switch and PC via Steam. And yeah, it says, so let's see. Turok 3 Shadow of the Oblivion first launched on N64 on September 6, 2000. So this game is 23 years old. Damn. The Turok series is one of the classic touchstones of gaming, and being able to provide the newest and improved version of Turok 3 Shadows of the Oblivion is a great feeling, said Night Dive Studio Director of Business Development Larry Kupperman. I'm also going to do this. Because it's just too dead silent. We almost looked like that RoboCop trailer, or that RoboCop gameplay.
Yeah.
So, Larry Kupperman in a press release, it makes full use of the latest version of our KEX engine, and we're excited to share the game with players later this year. So here's the overview. Turok 3 Shadows of the Oblivion is a faithful restoration of the classic first-person shooter originally released in 2000 for the N64, upgraded through Night Dive Studios' proprietary KEX engine for play on modern gaming devices with up to a 4K resolution at 120 frames per second. I also should mention that they also are the ones responsible for the Quake 2 re-release that also happened very recently. So Night Dive's been on a roll.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, it's 4K resolution, 120 frames per second. It joins Night Dive Studios, Universal Games, and digital platforms. Popular Turok 1 and 2 remasters, capping off the trilogy. Turok 3 Shadows of the Oblivion features upgraded gameplay, high resolution textures, enhanced lighting and rendering, and support for console gamepads with platform-specific features. It is the first title to use the latest version of the KEX engine, which utilizes an improved renderer to achieve a higher tier of visual fidelity across 3D models, textures, and graphical effects. And of course, it's saying like in Turok 3, you can choose between Joseph and Danielle. There are the siblings of the protagonist from the second game. Together, they must defeat the titular antagonist Oblivion and his followers. So yeah, so it's crazy that a game from 2000 is getting 4K 120 FPS in 23 years later. Like, that's crazy to me. But I'll go ahead and ask, like, have y'all ever played any of the Turok games or have any experience with it?
No, I've always heard of Turok and never played them. I need to though.
I played a little bit of Turok 1 on PlayStation. You gonna say, bro?
When did they remaster 1 and 2? Out of curiosity.
It's been a few years ago.
Kind of been starting to be interested in that series, so I might check out those games.
Yeah, I will say that
yeah.
the remasters go on sale a lot, so you could get them cheap. Also to be fair, like Turok 2, right now on Steam is $20, and right now the bundle's on sale 25% off. You can get both Turok 1 and 2 for $30 on Steam. So, but I'm happy to finally have Turok 3, to finally have the complete trilogy. Now, when I do review this series, I'll be able to go from 1 to 2 to 3.
Right. Yeah, that is a good thing. I'm glad that they're at least putting those games out on modern platforms so people don't enjoy it.
Yes, and notice also a pattern, because the next game I'm going to mention is another FPS classic, and it was on the IGN page I showed earlier. Or actually, I'll do this because I know it's here. Yep, I'll do this. Hold on, let me work my magic. So I'm going to. Here we go. There we go. I'll show the trailer. I don't care.
Oblivion has entered the time stream. It has infested the bodies of the dead and dying.
Wait, isn't Turok about dinosaurs? Where are the dinosaurs?
Come with me.
Who are you?
I am Adon. One of you must take up the mantle. One of you must become the son of stone. One of you must become Turok.
I will bear the burden of my fathers. I will wield the light.
Honestly, though, this looks really
What is
good.
this all about?
Yeah.
None of this makes any sense.
I mean, obviously, I wish the audio could get cleaned up, but obviously, you can't really do that. But
Yeah.
it looks great regardless.
You ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
He sounded so muffled.
They are
I know.
As
That's
was
What is
N64. That's the N64 dialogue.
There's your dinosaurs, RJ.
One dinosaur. Is that skeleton? What the hell goes on in these games?
That's why you got to play them to find out. I think Turok 1 and 2 were on Game Pass. But all
That's
right.
cool.
Yep.
There's also
And that,
another
again, that's
game
Turok
that,
3. And then the next game
that Night Dive announced, that they're
I'm going to talk
remastering.
about, or that got announced, which blew my mind. It blew RJ's mind. I don't know, because this is a big deal.
Well, I was very happy to see
and
this.
it'll go into my
'cause
talking point about Night Dive.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
Night
yeah.
Dive announced they're remastering Turok 3, but they also announced that they are remastering Star Wars Dark Forces.
Yeah, that was one of the first
Which
Star
is
Wars
one of
games
the
I ever
best Star Wars. Like Dark Forces 1 is a lot of fun. Dark Forces 2 can burn in the fieriest pits of hell. I'm sorry. I hate the gameplay of Dark Forces 2.
Why?
Anyway. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different Star Wars game. Anyway.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I'm thinking of Rebel Assault.
Dark Forces 2 was good.
Dark Forces Remastered was announced for PlayStation 5, Series S, X, and Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC. A later release date will be announced later in 2023. But yeah, Dark Forces as a Star Wars game was really big when it came out, all the way back in '96. It was originally an MS-DOS game, and then it got ported to the PlayStation, which was a very big deal because PC games didn't get ported that much back then. I want to believe. Anyway, let me pull up the trailer for that. So there we go.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of the Star Wars games, one of the first ones I ever played.
And then we'll get into I'll say my point after this.
God, it's so cool. Blasting stormtroopers and just having a blast.
The Emperor has approved your test demonstration, General Moss.
The remaster.
5 days ago, the Empire attacked one of our secret bases. Intelligence thinks that this may be an act of retaliation for the destruction of the Death Star.
Looks so cool. I'm so excited
All right,
for
so
that.
yeah.
Super excited for that one. Did the audio go up?
Let me see. Hold on. Well, we lost
Wait, what's going on? What's going on?
Jay. Hold on 1 second, actually.
Technical difficulties.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
I don't know. That was weird. We're fine now. We're all here.
I'm not sure if Meta's here. Oh, see, look, 2 versions.
There we go.
Clone. And they're both talking.
The metaverse.
The metaverse.
There we go.
Okay, I think
There
we're
we
fine
go.
now.
I love how during these recordings we get audio. It's like my whole audio just stopped.
See, I was wondering because I was talking. And I was like, could you like not hear me at all? Like,
Yeah.
The same thing happened again. I gotta find out what that is. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, Dark Forces is the start of the Kyle Katarn saga, and Kyle Katarn as a character is beloved by so many Star Wars fans.
oh yeah. This started everything. You know.
Yeah. So Dark Forces 1, Dark Forces 2, and Dark Forces 3 are available on all consoles.
Did they ever remaster Dark Forces 2 though?
No, they just Aspire ported it. They ported 2 and they ported 3.
See, I would want Night Dive to remaster Dark Forces 2. That's what
And
I would want them to do.
they may. I know if Dark Forces gets a physical release, I am going to grab it. I have the commitment to. It's not just Lucasfilm games in general, but I do have like the Monkey Island collection physically. But anything Star Wars that's games, I'm going to own physically. Like that's just a thing for me. So Dark Forces will be had. I will get Dark Forces 1 remastered physically. But I want to talk about Night Dive for just a brief moment, because Night Dive as a company seems to be very dedicated to preserving games through these remasters, but more specifically FPS games, because they've ported Turok 1 through 3 now. Or they've remastered Turok 1 through 3. They're doing Dark Forces. They've done, I think they did both of the Quake ones for Quake 1 and 2. Do you let me look up I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
Wouldn't surprise me
did.
if they did.
Yes, they did. So like all these beloved FPS games are getting treated with so much love from Night Dive. And of course, they've also done like Shadow Man. And as I said before, the only real Blade Runner game until this new one from Annapurna comes out, like Blade Runner on DOS and all that, was like the best Blade Runner game for the longest time to a lot of people. So even though that one wasn't received as well, to be able to preserve these games is a very big deal, because, you know, as a media, video games is one of the hardest things to preserve. For some reason, it's one of the hardest things to preserve. You know, there's so many reports and accounts of, you know, game companies losing the source code for these old games, and it's like, how do you lose these things? Like, you should have a filing system for this shit. Like, you really should.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Brill, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are because I know, again, you're the when it comes to FPS, I feel like you've played more of them. I think how many different FPS series have you touched or have you played before?
Well, I play a lot of the boomer shooter types, right? So those are ones that I more prefer, and the ones that I'm more interested in.
So old school ones.
Yeah, the old school ones. So this one, because I've never played this game, so I might check it out. It does look interesting. It does look like a game I would play. It has like obviously more of a boomer shooter gameplay, but
yeah, it's games like Star Wars Remastered or Dark Forces that
right.
It came out in that same era that Doom and Wolfenstein did. This is again like 95, 96. So
right.
A little bit after Doom and Wolfenstein, but it's still in that era where, like we have dark corridors and we don't know what's behind the next corner, but we have to get our gun ready because we may have to shoot something like
right. The boomer shooters are corridor shooters. That's the original term.
Yeah, Dark Forces is a corridor shooter. And while the Turok games, there is like open world. It's not like open world. They're corridors, but you're just outside in the jungle.
Right.
But it's like areas of the jungle. Like it's weird. But like I didn't know if you had thoughts of like Night Dive kind of preserving these games. Because again, they did both Quake 1 and 2 remastered.
Mm-hmm.
There's very good likelihood that Night Dive will do 3 and 4 eventually, even though 4 came out in like 2005, but still, like that game is almost 2 decades old now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're a pretty good developer. I mean, I was like watching a video that gave me some crazy statistic about games older than, I want to say, like 2011, and how most of them you can't even buy at all or play. You have to emulate them. So I mean, this is definitely good. I hope more companies, like, if this is successful, I think in terms of like, actually preserving games, right? Because they're preserving a lot of games by remastering them. And I know a lot of gamers you would see on Twitter complaining about we're getting a lot of remasters and stuff, but that's because these games aren't available. So that's why they're doing it. And obviously people will buy it too, right? So look at Red Dead Redemption.
I'm gonna God.
Yeah.
That's how you don't do a remaster. But,
right, but still it's gonna sell, regardless of what people are saying.
I want to show this off again because this blows my damn mind. Like, I want you to look at this. Like, look at the difference. So that's the original MS-DOS and PS1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how clean that is.
Yeah, they cleaned it up really good. That actually actually looks like traditional artwork.
That's what I'm saying. Like like they also kept the same designs and looks. They didn't change those. Like it's just a nice, like this looks
it's an
like
upscale.
Yeah, it's an upscale, but like pixels.
Yeah, it's an upscale and cleaning it up, which I like.
Yeah, I love this. This looks amazing. And of course, this is like pre.
So did this game have pre-rendered cutscenes? Because I could have sworn didn't one of these Star Wars games have like live action cutscenes? Was that this game?
Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault. Okay.
Rebel Assault, and those are the ones I can't stand. Those games are bullshit. But yeah, this is a corridor shooter. This is a Dark Forces is a corridor shooter, and again, it is the first game in the Dark Forces saga. The story of Kyle Katarn, who they've kind of at liberty been spreading his information and his like backstory and all that around Star Wars. I've been trying to shopping it out around Star Wars. So Kyle Katarn himself will probably never show up in actual like Star Wars, the new canon. But yeah, these series of games were great. I'm looking forward to both of these games. Again, gonna get Dark Forces physically, probably gonna get Turok 3 digitally because I may try to get the Turok games. I may try to reacquire them physically. It's just I need them for PlayStation. I'll need them for PlayStation 4 or 5. If they're putting Turok normally this is a thing that has happened before with Quake, for example. They may re-release they may do a free update, or not free update, but like a free version of Turok 1 and 2 for PS5 if you own it for PS4. And if they do that, then they'll probably do them. Anyway, I'm going to try to get all these boomer shooters and old school shooters physically because I want to help. I want them in my collection. I want to preserve them. So, yeah. But all right, and we only have a few more things to talk about, and so let's go to. I'm gonna save the Fallout news for last because it's a live action thing. Let's stick in the game realm of games. So, all right, this is something we mentioned at the top of the show or top of the episode. Persona 3 Reload. It's no surprise. It should not be a surprise to anyone that watches us. RJ and myself are both excited for Persona 3 Reload. We are very, very excited for Persona 3 Reload. And every full moon, they have been releasing new information. Well, the last time it was just a dubbed version of the trailer they released in Japan, so it wasn't that exciting. And I remember RJ said they better show something good this time because what happened last time ain't gonna cut it again. And I was like, they have to, man. They have to. And they did. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a release date. And I am saying this, RJ, because you have been... I do not see a Switch port on this announcement. I do not see a Switch port on this announcement.
It'll come. Don't worry.
I still think it'll come for the new console. But... for right now, it's coming to PS5 and 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and PC via Steam and Microsoft Store on February 2nd, 2024. We are starting the new year off with a literal bang of a gun. Oh my God. And can I just say also...
As we should be. I want to show this off. This was very, very big news for me. You gotta show the trailer.
You want me? I don't want to get copyright struck.
We're not gonna get struck. We're gonna claim
RJ, Atlas don't play. I'll show this. So the base game is going to be $70. That's no surprise to anyone. And here, so physical editions. So there's the standard game, which is just the base game. The Aegis edition, which you already know, RJ and myself pre-ordered. Wasn't even a joke. It comes with the base game, collector's box, an art book, 2-disc soundtrack, Aegis figure, and the DLCs, which will be a Persona 5 Royal, Phantom Thieves costume set, the Shujin Academy costume set, and then it'll come with personas from the game from Persona 5, and then some background music set from Persona 5, and then for Persona 4 Golden, you're gonna get the, how do you pronounce that, RJ? Yasogami High. Yeah. Yasogami High, and you're to get the Persona set.
Yeah.
So
basically all the stuff from Persona 5 and 4.
Yeah. And of course there are digital editions, and so there is also, God, I wish they had a picture of it. In Japan, they have their own special deluxe edition. And I think it says it here. Yes.
The Seas edition. Yeah, Seas edition.
Seas edition. A limited edition will also be available for 17,000 yen, which includes the game, a collector's box, art book, 2-disc soundtrack, a Seas armband. This armband. And I want it so bad.
We get a statue in America. I'm fine with that.
I want the damn armband. Damn it.
Get a statue.
It's just, RJ, I can buy a statue whenever. They don't make shit like this. Like when they got Joker's mask, I was like, yes, I'll get that. Like, I want the armband, damn it.
I know, but gotta make concessions sometimes.
And give me that damn monkey's paw. I'll make a concession. Also, users who pre-order any version will receive the Persona 4 background music set. So, if you don't pre-order, you're not going to get Persona 4 music, even though you're going to have the costumes if you get even if you buy the August edition. But
yeah,
anyway, and of course the tracks will be a new world full. I'll face myself, battle the fog, reach out to the truth. Result, basically the hits, the greatest hits from P4. But that's not all they showed. They showed off the final characters for the cast. So we have Koromaru, who is Best Boy, and he's actually going to have a voice this time around.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of had a voice in the original, but I mean, like, this is more like an actual actor doing dog noises, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great. Do you want me to read the description, or...
However you want to do it. Roll, man. Go ahead. Do it.
Look at him. Look at that doggy. Best Boy. Such a good boy. And he doesn't tell me to go to bed at midnight, so he's automatically better than Morgana.
Not yet. He doesn't do it yet.
He doesn't do it yet. Oh God. Anyway, I'm not. You know, I've had it up on the screen for a while. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to read them. Play the damn game. That's all I'm going to say. Dog has a persona. That's it. And then they finally showed off Aigis properly. We saw her in the opening trailer, the announcement trailer, but we did not know any information about her. And let me look up her voice actress for English.
Yeah. It's Dawn Bennett.
Did I not hit a different button? What do I know her from, RJ? What would I know her from? If she's who I think she is, hold on. Tower of God. Wait a minute, there's a video game of Tower of God?
Yeah,
anyway, she was in Street Fighter, she was in Ninja Turtles. I'm trying to wait, who was she in? Oh, she was in Konosuba.
Yeah.
Cool. Tokage. Wait a minute. Tokage. Wait. Isn't Toka that's the crazy one, right?
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
I thought you were the My Hero guy.
Oh, Toga. Oh, Toga. I thought you said Toka. I was like, yeah.
No, I am saying Toka. I said it wrong then.
Yeah, it's Toga. That's why I was confused.
Toga. God. Jesus.
Good. Yeah.
Oh my God. Proceeds to give me lessons on how to say Japanese names. I don't even know. She's in a lot of anime. I dare say that she is an anime-only voice actress. She was in fucking Kijo. That kills me, bro. I have not known anyone to be a Kijo, bro. Oh my God. Okay. Basically, this is a well-renowned anime voice actress in Dawn Bennett and Maya Sakamoto in Japanese. And Aigis is, besides, I would say Aigis is more of the face of P3. Like as far as a companion goes, Aigis.
Each of the 3 Hashino Persona games has a mascot character, what character kind of defines the game in terms of visually, what do we use to set it apart. P3 had Aigis, Persona 4 had Teddy, Persona 5 had Morgana. So yeah.
But really, it's supposed to be Koromaru, the dog, that's supposed to represent.
But it didn't. No, it's not really. It became Aigis.
I know it became Aigis, but what I'm saying is it was supposed to be because, for PQ, it's Koromaru and Teddy, and then on PQ2, it's all 3 of them. So, but yeah, Aigis is definitely gonna be a fun character to get to know. And then of course we have Ken Amada, everyone's favorite everyone's favorite
elementary school kid who's like 5
everyone's
years
favorite
old.
love interest is
killing people.
FMC. Y'all really
No, we
wanted
don't
that in the
talk
game.
about that. We don't talk
Y'all
about
really
that.
wanted that
We
in the
don't talk
game.
about that.
I know I'm gonna talk about it. Y'all really wanted that in the game, bruh. I'm just saying they really wanted that in the game, dude. I'm just anyway. Justine Lee is gonna be voicing Ken, and I can't find an actual picture of her, so I don't know who she is. Anyway, yeah, he is a 5th grader at elementary school. You're all horrible. Whoever wanted FMC in the game, you're horrible. I'm saying that now. The views are mine and mine alone. RJ does not share these thoughts and opinions. Anyway, and then the actual last one of the group is Shinjiro Aragaki, who is being voiced by, and I have to keep looking these people up because I've never heard of them.
Yeah, some of these are relatively new to me as well.
Justice Solcom, who... Okay, he was in... Who was he in those games? Hitsuro Kora Kamasami. If I can look these characters up, man, this would be so much easier.
Yeah, so we basically got Igus, Ken, Koromaru, and Shinji. So it's pretty much everyone else revealed for the game.
Yeah, Shinji. Shinji.
He just goes by Shinji, so you can just call him Shinji.
Shinji.
Yeah.
And then of course they also showed off the new look for the armbands and stuff.
Yeah, they put in like some armor stuff, which is interesting. It's definitely different from the original, which I'm fine with. It's just that it's different.
And this was announced as the cover art, which it is. That's ooh.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fire.
They cooked with that.
It cooked so good. Oh my god. I'm not showing the trailer. I'm sorry, RJ. I'm not showing either of the trailers. Atlas does not play with that copyright shit.
Yeah. It's
just saying. Okay. But yeah, Persona 3 stuff was announced. That was a great time. And then I'm gonna let
February, early next year. I mean, think about it, just a few months.
My birth
away.
month. That's gonna be a great birthday present. Honestly, that's probably the best birthday present I could ask for next year. Just like Metroid Prime was the best for this year. But I'm gonna let RJ handle this one because this is something he brought to my attention, and it is a very big deal. So, but I'll set it up. I'll set it up for him. So as we all know, Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the biggest games of this year already, just on PC alone. It's coming to PlayStation the same time Starfield is coming to Xbox.
Literally the day before. Baldur's Gate 3 drops on PS5 September 5th. So
yeah. So very soon. And at first, we all thought this was an exclusive to PC and PlayStation. Well, that's not the case, as we can find out. So
I mean, I never really thought that was going to end up happening because Larian Studios has always said that it was just going to be, it was going to come to Xbox. But the reason why it got pushed back on Xbox is because of, Larian, they've been doing a really, really good job in terms of really making sure that when they launch this game on platforms that it's feature complete, and that really means ensuring that everything's there. The big issue that they were having though with the Xbox platform is with the split screen feature. So in Baldur's Gate 3, you can do online co-op and you can do split screen co-op. So the issue though is that with the split screen co-op, it was not working on Xbox Series S. They were having some major technical issues getting it to work and run correctly on that platform. So much so that the game has been pushed back on Xbox until sometime later this year. They were aiming for sometime later this year, although the possibility was it could have been delayed to 2024. Well, at Gamescom, Phil Spencer kind of announced, and it was announced by Larian Studios, that what they're going to do is Baldur's Gate 3 will be coming out on Xbox this year. Okay, probably, I'm going to guess somewhere between October and November, hopefully next month, we'll see. But pretty soon, it will be coming out this year. The one concession, though, is that Series S will not launch with split screen. Now, they did clarify that split screen is coming to Baldur's Gate 3 on Series S in the future. That's what they're hoping for. But for right now, at launch, it won't be there. So this is pretty big because if you know anything about Xbox, they've made a big deal about parity, saying that no matter what platform you buy the game on, it'll be the same experience pretty much. You'll get the same features. This is the first time Xbox has made an exception where they are actually letting a developer not launch a feature on both consoles. So Series X will be the superior version of Baldur's Gate 3 for now. For the moment, until they can figure out the split screen issue for Series S. Again, that is a big deal because before they were like, we need to make sure that all games have parity, the parity clause. So this is the first time that they've made an actual exception to their rule. So it actually is very significant. I'm not sure what that means going forward for Xbox and the Series S in particular, but I think this is a really good thing for Xbox players. They're getting Baldur's Gate 3 this year. They don't got to wait till next year. Thank God. It's going to be coming out a lot sooner than that.
I saw your tweet. You're trying to hold out buying it on PlayStation. Just so
I am.
Play it on Xbox.
I really want to play Baldur's Gate 3, but I'm doing the smart thing. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for Xbox because that'll give me time to finish Starfield. And I think it's a good thing for Xbox players to get to have this game on their platform. Now, for Series S players, I think not having split screen does kind of suck. But at the same time, for me, I'm just like, what are the odds that the Series S user base is really going to A, buy this game, or B, even engage in split screen when they could just do online co-op instead? Right? I mean, again, removing any, like, not having any feature at launch, yes, it does suck. I just don't think it's the end of, like, this one feature wasn't worth pushing the game out 6 more months, you know? In my opinion, at least, you know?
And I mean, to some people, it may have been, though. Like, there are still, like, there is a group of people, like, couch co-op has become so niche now, but it is still a feature that the indie game scene has proven that a lot of people do still play, would love to play couch co-op games because, you know, it's less, like, it is relatively less expensive for you to just get the game and invite your friend over to play it versus him getting a console, him getting the game, you know, paying for an online subscription. And as we've seen with, you know, I don't know if y'all saw these reports, but like subscription numbers for across the board, not just for like one particular version of streaming, but like subscriptions across the board may see a decline because of the cost of living is increasing. So they can't afford to have Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online and Disney Plus with Max. Like, they can't afford to have all these different subscription services. So
yeah,
there's going to be some
things are getting more and more expensive, and it's becoming very hard to maintain everything.
Yeah, it's we're on the brink. But yeah, I have the article pulled up. I didn't know if you wanted me to read this or you wanted to read it, RJ.
We pretty much already covered it, to be honest.
Okay.
I've kind of already said everything about it that needs to be said, but yeah, you know, like I said, good thing it's coming. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys? I mean, that's kind of the what this whole thing's kind of turned the conversation into is what does this mean for Series S overall?
I've been saying this shit. It's a fucking potato.
It's not like a total potato. Like it's
no,
not.
It is holding potato. Everything back. Like it's not even just that. That's not even like an opinion by like fanboys. It's been proven by developers. This console is holding everything back because you have to always equal everything to the lowest common denominator when it comes to gaming. And right now, the Series S is the lowest common denominator, like in terms of power and everything. It has to run on the Series S before it can even try to run on the more powerful ones, basically. So whatever the bottom line is, that's what it has to run on, and that's what the Series S is the bottom line. It's holding everything back. Multiple developers have said this, not just like one in general. Like multiple have said this now.
Yeah,
they said this, but they still put the game out on Series S. So
yeah,
I don't think it means much.
Well,
they have to.
Like that's why I wanted to ask
because it's a multi. It's a
how do you feel
multi-platform.
about them removing like the whole Baldur's Gate 3 thing on Xbox? You think that's like a good thing that they decided not to launch split screen on Series
I think it
S,
opens.
or-
I mean, I mean,
Because it does open the
personally,
can of worms. It does open the can of worms moving forward.
You,
for
yeah,
what
you
they
just said
could
what I was
allow.
going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they made a concession on something that we agree on. It was minor. It wasn't like a major feature, but they wanted to have all the features right day one. So I'm not like gonna get too hell bent over it, but I mean, I mean, it shows that they'll make compromises for features that are not that important, which is fine. I mean, no, I don't think a lot of people are expecting the Series S to have. I mean, it's supposed to be targeting 1440p 60, right? If possible, because even then they're like, well, that might not even be possible. So, I don't think it's a bad thing. As for the developers who made that comment, a lot of developers came out against those same developers who made that comment, where they said that the Series S, yes, it is not as powerful as the PS5 and Series X, but at the same time, that's always been a problem with developing for multiple platforms, right? If you go back and talk to like developers from Ubisoft or EA or some of these bigger third-party studios, they've always mentioned that there's always problems developing for the consoles, because sometimes they're not equal, sometimes they are, sometimes there's different hassles they have to get around. I don't know all the technicalities, but that's what I've heard, right? So, I mean, and on top of that too, there's a lot of developers who are also releasing games on all the platforms, including Switch. And I don't see them complaining, right? Like, how did they get Mortal Kombat 1 running on Switch? I mean, we'll have to see, right? So no, I don't really agree with this whole Series S debate. I think it's blown out of proportion. And on top of that too, these are consoles. So I don't really understand the whole holding back thing, because consoles have been holding back games for quite a while, right? So I don't really agree with that at all, right? You know what you're getting when you pay for a console, and Microsoft made that very clear with the Series S. And just an example, the CD Projekt Red, they were like, "Oh, we can't launch 60 FPS on the Series S," and then a couple months they did anyway. So, with these developers, sometimes it takes time, and that's fine. If they make it clear and they tell Microsoft, and Microsoft's okay with that, and the customers are okay, then I don't really see the problem.
I don't know. I just know that while you are correct with them saying that consoles consoles have always had issues. I do remember for a lot during the PS3 era, because the PS3 had such a different, because of what like Sony did with like how games are made for PlayStation 3, it was very hard for a lot of third-party companies to make ports for PlayStation, because it had to work within that whatever system they installed for PS3. I don't even know what it was called, but like that is an example that comes to mind. But it's just that like with the PS5 and the Series X, this is probably the closest console that's ever this is the closest the console's ever going to get to like a okay entryway PC. Like, it's not going to be the high end. It's not even going to be mid tier. It's going to be an entry level PC.
I don't know about that. I mean, you can get the PS5 and Xbox Series X are equivalent to a 260 at most. So those are pretty cheap now. So I mean, like, this isn't like a bleeding edge, like a mid tier. You're getting a little bit of better performance, right?
No,
compared to the consoles.
It's not a mid tier. It's not a high end. It's an entryway PC. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's an entryway PC, which means you're going to get. It's not going to be the most powerful,
right?
But it should do the job with what you're wanting it to do. And so, like, yeah, and because of that, certain games are already going to be compressed from the PC version of the game.
Well, you're not expecting the consoles to run these games at 4K ray tracing 60 FPS. It's not going to happen, right? And to say that the Series S is holding back the other consoles from doing that, that's just not true, right? Like that's what we have to understand. Like the Series S, like developers have said, the ones that I've heard, right? I think there was one guy from id Software, which was hilarious, right? Because then they got bought out by Microsoft, right? But he was saying like before the console launched that, oh, it would, like it's going to be a pain developing for that one in particular versus the other ones, right? So I don't really see how it's holding it back. It's more of like the problem is developing for the Series S, not the other ones, right? And they were going to make concessions anyway because again, these aren't bleeding edge technology, right? Like, I mean, look at there's games coming out right now that have performance issues, right? Look at Jedi Survivor. I forget what was the game that came out last year.
Jedi Survivor was a mess when that game launched. Like I love Jedi Survivor, but the way that game performed, like performance mode was like bugged. You had to play on quality mode for it to actually like not have frame drops. It was ridiculous.
Right. And there was another game that did that too. I'm forgetting. It was a sequel. It was kind of like a Last of Us kind of a rip-off game. I'm can't remember the name of it. It's like in the past, like in the 1800s or something. Tales Plague. There we go.
Tales Plague. Yeah.
Yes. That game also had performance issues too, and that game was extremely demanding on PC, right? Like that was like people were complaining.
Yeah, like fidelity wise, that game was extremely pushing the envelope for what the hardware could do. Yeah.
Right. Even on PC, right? So, I mean, yeah, I don't listen. I don't know all the technicalities. Some developers will complain, other ones don't have a problem, and so. But I'm not gonna make the position that I'm gonna shit on it. Also, I am biased because I do have the console, but I still don't think it's holding back everything. I mean, we know why games aren't coming out the way they are because of time. These games take much longer. There's a lot more working parts to them. They're not even really used to things like Unreal Engine 5 and some of these other engines, right? I mean, look at Bethesda. It took them so long to make Starfield because they had to make a new engine, right? So,
finally.
Well,
yeah, but it takes time.
It's kind of a new engine, isn't it? Like,
well, it is a new engine.
Version? Oh, like
it's a new engine. They had to build it. Like they were building it around, I want to say like 2017, 18. It's a new engine completely. I've heard interviews of them talking about it, and yes, it is the creation engine, but it's still a new engine, right? So. Yeah, these things are complicated. I mean, there's a lot of manpower and a lot of programming and a lot of engineering that goes into this. And so I'm not gonna like completely crap on them because again, I've heard it from people that I know that it's hard. I don't understand all the specifics, but just seeing it, I could tell, yes, this is very difficult. It is what it is, right? If we want these games to come out looking like Red Dead Redemption 2, then yeah, sacrifices are going to be made. This stuff is going to take longer, so we just have to deal with it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my take.
But like, I do think though that, and I don't then because like games that get kneecapped, that don't necessarily need to be kneecapped when it comes to frame rate. I'm not expecting like 120, but like 60 is like. The 60 FPS standard, the 60 FPS debate, I mean, is getting to where like 60 is like people are wanting 60 to become, if it's not already the standard for frame rate per second, and to be for a lot of these games, like one of the biggest, and it didn't really I didn't care that much about this one. I kind of did, but I was still going to get the game. But like Gotham Knights, when it was announced that it was going to be 30 FPS, a lot of people immediately canceled their pre-orders and stuff because it wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be a solid 60. I do think that asking for 120 from these consoles and 4K resolutions and everything is ridiculous, but like if you're going to choose frame rate over graphics, I would like to have it be 60 over 30.
See, that is like literally my only request as of late, like for next gen. The only request I have is that, please, for the love of God, just make 60 frames per second the standard. I don't care how you do it or what concessions fidelity wise you have to make. 60 FPS for this current generation needs to be the standard. I don't need
And
120
that's what I'm getting
FPS. I don't need 4K. I just want 60. That's it.
I think the reality of it, because I was one of those people who did cancel their pre-orders because of Gotham Knights, and that was mostly not because the game's not running at 60. I didn't have a problem with that, but that's because the developers were not upfront about it. I understand now the technicality of trying to run that game at 60 FPS on the consoles. It's just impossible unless they made that game tethered, which I think probably would have made more sense, but that's here nor there.
I thought they did make it tethered.
It's untethered, so it basically, you can be in co-op mode, someone can be on across the map and you're still playing co-op with them. I don't really see the need for that, especially what I've seen from Gotham Knights. It's not like, oh, you need to separate. Yeah, you do story missions together. So I think they could have made that game tethered, but that was a design decision that they said no, they want it untethered. So I mean, that's their creative decision, right? That was a creative decision, not even really a technical decision. So and even on PC, that game still had problems. So listen, I understand now. I want 60 FPS. I prefer performance over fidelity. I agree. But especially when you hear interviews with Todd Howard and a lot of these other technical directors and why they don't have 60 FPS, you can understand that they're going for something that's a lot more ambitious. And if they were to prioritize performance, you're not actually just losing the fidelity. You're losing a lot of mechanics and the inner workings of the game itself, right? And so I think, you know what I mean? I think maybe the standard, they're consoles, right? I'm not going to expect bleeding edge, right? If you can't do 60 FPS Starfield on both Xboxes, I'm not going to be like having a freak out where, oh, I'm not going to play the game, right? It's like, well, I know what I bought, right? I understand the level of ambition, right? So I'm just going to have to concede with this point, right? We're playing on consoles. If I'm playing on a PC and I got bleeding edge, it's a 490, right? And you can't hit 60 FPS, that's a different story, right? But with consoles, like I said, we gotta maybe lower expectation, and if not, what are people gonna say? Play on PC, right? So, or buy the bleeding edge. So, it's just
what I think is like, I'm hoping the very least what I would want, and again, basically, I think that they should be upfront with it and just be like, hey, in terms of like Microsoft, because both PlayStation 5s are the same. It's just there's no disk drive. So it really is just Microsoft with the difference in hardware. Microsoft just was like, hey, we said that all these games are going to be the same, and they will for the most part. But as far as frame rate goes, Xbox Series X is going to be able to do 60, and 30 is what the Series S. You get what you pay for, basically.
Right.
The Series S is cheaper. You can still play next-gen games. They're just not at They're just not at the frame rate. They're not at 60 FPS. But with the Xbox Series S, you get it would also incentivize people to want the Series X more than the S. And if they still want the S, that's fine. But you're getting what you're paid for. You're not holding it. This is going to probably be like a weird example. This is going to be the weirdest example I can think of, but it just makes sense in my head. It's like implementing No Child Left Behind. So
right.
The whole premise of No Child Left Behind as an idea is if kids are falling behind in school, they get the help they need to get them brought back up to the rest of the class. But that's not what happened. What happens is the entire class is held back until that one kid can figure out what 2 + 2 is. And
that's what that is, but I don't really agree with the analogy, right?
Well, I'm saying like it just feels like where'd my screen go? It just feels like the PS5, the other next gen consoles, the more powerful consoles are being held back by the Series S.
But what like okay, besides the examples, besides the frame rate, I mean, first off, Sony is giving us the different performance modes, and that's because their studios prioritize that, right? And also who really knows if those games are super demanding, right? I don't know, right? At least so far, right? So I mean, what exactly, besides the examples that we mentioned, what game do you feel is being held back on the Xbox in particular? Like, these are only really recent
Let me
kind of
see.
problems, so I
Well,
feel like
it's not even just like games that have already come out. It's games that will come out. Like the I can't remember the name of that damn game. The steampunk one that we saw at their showcase. That's
right.
like a first person run and gun.
Oh,
I would
that
want
Clockwork game?
the Clockwork game.
Bioshock
I would want
yeah.
that to run at 60. I would want that to run at 60.
Well, typically, most of the time, these first-person shooters are probably some of the easiest games to get running at 60 FPS.
They're probably going to, because gameplay-wise, I mean, who's going to want to play a 30 FPS, right?
And the same thing goes for like Fable and oh my god, Hellblade 2 and games like that. Like those games, I'm not looking at just like what's already come out, but like in the future, like games that would benefit from being in 60 are just going to be held.
I mean, we'll have to see, right? Like, we haven't even heard any interviews from those games in particular, right? And if they are, and like I said, like there's so many different reasons why a game is 30 FPS. Like that's the part that you kind of have to understand, right? It's like, I'm not like just saying this is what developers have said, right? Like, they're making concessions on a creative and technical level. Now I know that what was it, back in like 2014, they used to say, oh, we prefer 30 because it's more cinematic, right? But that was just an excuse. That was them covering up the fact that no, technically they can't do it, right? It's impossible to do 60 FPS. So I really don't know. I'm not like going to be too hell bent on this, because like I said, like, these are developers. They know what they're doing. They want their creative vision. So if the game is still good at 60 FPS, like I played Zelda at 60 FPS, right? It's not great, a great experience, because it does dip frames, but I could still see the game and be like, okay, yes, I do like the game, right? I prefer 60. I always keep saying that, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to play this game like Zelda or Starfield or Spider-Man because, oh, it's only in 30. It's like, no, we all want to just play the game for the game mechanics in particular, especially those games, right? If it's something else that does require, like, why would Street Fighter 6 be not 60 FPS, right? That's mind-blowing to me. That I won't take, right? If it's a specific genre, but with these action adventure games, I'm not gonna get too butthurt. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they don't want us to expect that, so I'm gonna respect their wishes and be like, you know what? I'm not gonna expect that, right? I'm gonna expect something else.
All right, fair. I mean, honestly, the whole frame rate, I think it could be its own. It has been kind of its own discussion. It's a segue,
Right.
but it's its own. It's a conversation topic itself that we could definitely dive into at a later date. But right now, we have. I think this is the last. This is the last announcement that we have to talk about, and it was at Xbox's like Gamescom event. Where was this shown at? The Fallout trailer.
This was shown. So at Gamescom, they had an in-person demonstration of Starfield, apparently, with Todd Howard, just for the press and the media. This was behind closed doors, and after the Starfield stuff, they Todd Howard was talking about the game and talking about like the future of Bethesda, and he also showed the first trailer or the first little sneak peek at the Fallout TV show for Amazon Prime.
Right.
Which will be the only Fallout content we get for a while. I'm starting to agree with what Mr. Matty Play said, where I think that that port for next gen consoles of Fallout 4 is going to come out around the same time the show does, because they've seen what happened with Cyberpunk and The Witcher, and they want that retention on the game and 76.
Has that been rumored? A Fallout 4 next gen?
No, that was
that was confirmed last year at the 25th.
That was
it
like
25th?
the only good announcement
Yeah.
Fallout's anniversary had. It was
Well,
honestly
and the show, they teased the show. But
the
yeah.
show that Fallout's anniversary was worse than Persona's.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have
It was
much.
worthless. And then what was worse than Fallout was Tomb Raiders because nothing was
Yeah.
announced.
Well, Tomb Raider got sold off to another group. So
Even then, though, like they didn't even have
Yeah.
you know, they didn't do anything. Like anything.
We heard that they're making the new game right now.
Yeah, they're making a new
right
game.
now, but they didn't even like a port. Anything.
Yeah, I was
tweet.
expecting a port or something.
They didn't even tweet. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they tend to do this. We've seen Nintendo do this, so you know, I don't get why.
About? Nintendo can never do any wrong.
Oh man.
We're gonna cover that later. RJ's bubbling over there.
Oh man.
We have ideas for a future stream, folks. It's gonna be glorious. But yeah, I'm trying to. Where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah, so like a tweet was lent out by Prime Video, and we know now that we're gonna be going to Los Angeles. It was already a cesspit, but now it's gonna be in the Fallout universe.
Yeah, this is an interesting location
because it's in NCR.
Yes,
it is
this is West Coast Fallout, which from what we've seen, it sounds like they were going to go east Fallout. So I mean, most Fallout fans know, obviously, there's like the difference. It's just like the developer difference, right? Like Bethesda does east, and you know, Obsidian and the classic Fallout did the west side, right? So, I'm not. I mean, we'll see what they do exactly, because I mean, they have the Brotherhood of Steel, and so you're like, well, the Brotherhood of Steel isn't supposed to be predominant on the west side, right? Depending on the time, right? So, I mean, so we'll see. I'm not sure if this is going to be like connected with the games. It would be cool if it was, but it may just be its own thing, and they'll explore the universe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not going to show I'm not going to show the leaked footage at all,
Yeah.
but there is a description of it on the IGN article. I'm going to read that here. In short, the trailer there were glimpses of the Brotherhood of Steel ominously marching across a dusty desert. Their iconic vertibird vehicles, a vault opening as a woman shielded her eyes from the sun, multiple nuclear explosions taking place in what looks like a present-day setting, and a shot of who we presume is Walton Goggins' ghoul character, who bore more than a passing resemblance to Fallout 4's John Hancock.
Yeah, because he had the hat, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's
yeah,
not John Hancock.
yeah, definitely not. Yeah,
He looks more like a sheriff. Like he's like the sheriff of the town, like a cowboy.
right.
And they also said that it's clear that the production values are high, with the visual effects looking impressive. What we do know is that the story will be separate from any of the games, which Todd Howard confirmed in November of last year.
Okay.
But it's separate from any of the games, but like it's in the Fallout universe, right?
Well, that's why I'm asking. Like, is this canon? Is this because they're not adapting the other games? We expected
Todd
that.
Howard talked about this. I don't know. I can't answer if it's canon or not. I'm gonna say no for now, just to be safe. But I'll wait and see. I have to wait and see. The only thing I know is that the reason that they even agreed to let Amazon do the show is because they were talking with Jonathan Nolan. Because, you know, they're talking about how, like, Westworld and some kind of inspired Fallout 4 a little bit, and it kind of also inspired Starfield a little bit, too. Like, like, Interstellar, like, was a big inspiration for Starfield, especially.
Right.
And they were saying that the pitch they got was that, you know, Todd Howard said, in the past, people have come to us and said, we want to adapt Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas into a movie, and that didn't appeal to them. They were like, we don't want you to, like, to adapt a game story. What did appeal to them, though, is when they got the pitch of, we want to tell a story set in the Fallout universe. Like, okay, you want to do your own thing. That's cool with us. That's what we kind of wanted. So it's going to be its own unique story set in the world of Fallout. Supposedly it's going to be set in Los Angeles, so it's going to be set in California. So
Right.
Well, no, supposedly
I would
is.
assume it's going to be canon, but I don't know.
Maybe
sure.
they'll see how based on the popularity of the show. But I mean, like, people, Fallout fans are weird, right? Because they used to. Now they're like complaining about canon, especially with Fallout 76, because a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. So I mean, I could see them being like, yeah, this is part of canon because they really don't care about canon. Let's be honest. So,
They care about my
yeah.
cannons. They help me defeat super mutants.
Oh man. Well, that's also an interesting point too. Is they probably picked the West Coast because you can kind of explain away why, there's not all these creatures walking around. They have their little areas that they live in, right? Because that was mostly in the West Side, right? With even Fallout 1 and 2.
Though. You gotta have.
There's going to be a death.
Right.
There's going to be a death claw. There's going to be a class. Well, I'm trying to remember because like my Fallout lore is like a little iffy.
Right.
East Coast is more chaotic, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how Bethesda usually depicts it. It's just like you can be walking around and there's a death claw, but in New Vegas, there's only one specific area where they're all going to spawn, right?
Yeah. God, that whole quest line sucked trying to go over there.
Yeah, that
50,
one
There's
did
like
suck.
50 death claws all
Yeah.
in the same area.
Yes.
Oh, you went the way that I went then.
Yeah.
I got jumped by like 10 of them.
There's like a mother death claw. There's brutes. There's all of them,
RJ.
Yeah.
That is the route that made me drop New Vegas.
Oh man.
I dropped it. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna get R word by 50 death claws.
Yeah, that was insane.
I'm not getting Piper
Insane.
parried by 50 death claws. All right, it's not happening." Oh shit! But anyway, yeah, they could set it because like I kind of care about the canon. I know that 76 is like before all of the games, and that does upset some of the Fallout fans, especially because of how bad 76 is.
Well, it's not even bad. There's because Fallout fans actually do like that game. There's things that contradict the main canon, right? Like Fallout 76, their vault opened way before Fallout 1, right? Which why is that even possible? And then on top of that too, you have things like the Scorch. The Brotherhood of Steel is in Fallout 76, even though they shouldn't have existed. Yeah. So there's things like that where people are more upset because, like I said, Fallout 76, after it's all been patched and all the story stuff, it's actually a decent game. Like, there's actually a lot of stuff. If you're a Fallout fan, you would actually like it.
People are picking up Fallout 76.
Right.
I have it still. I intend to jump back in at some point. I do want to get, but again, with everything else, that I
actually like the map more than Fallout 4, to be honest, because it's more diverse. There's a lot more things going on.
More than Boston.
Yeah, because Boston, they had that one. I mean, you have the what do you call that area where it was just like green and it was like radiation.
Yeah,
and that took up so much of the map where there wasn't really a lot going on there, right? So there's nothing like that in West Virginia. They have spots where nukes go off, but it's a lot more diverse. So yeah.
Well, Fallout 76 has a water park, so therefore it's the best. Fallout 76 has a water park you can explore.
Oh man.
That water park is fun though, low-key. I love exploring that. That is part of it I did explore. But yeah, I mean, they can set this before. I'm going to say that I understand that it does mess with the lore a bit, but
right.
I think that we may see what I could see this potentially doing is maybe this is what sets up the NCR. Maybe this is around that time period. I'm kind of hoping it is. Because that would be a really cool thing to end
like
the
it's a show establishing the history of the NCR.
Yeah, like that would be cool as hell. Come on, y'all, that'd be cool as shit. Like,
yeah, I would definitely want to. I mean, the part that makes me a lot more excited is the fact that like the main character is a ghoul, right? Because Walter Goggin was cast as the main lead, right? And obviously in the trailer he is a ghoul. So that to me, like Fallout has never. This is the part that's always bothered me is that you could kind of make a ghoul character, in like 3 and New Vegas, but no one acknowledges you as a ghoul, right? And there's obviously a lot of problems being a ghoul. Like people are very suspicious of you because you can turn feral. Yes. So
Just say it. They're
yeah,
discriminatory again.
there's definitely a lot of stuff going on if you are a ghoul, right? And the games have never explored that. So
glowies.
Well, see, that's what's always been weird to me about this show, and that's not a bad thing. I think it's very unique. But I guess my thing is like a ghoul would have been around since when the bombs dropped, right? So the whole thing is like
not necessarily. It's a ghoul. The ghoulification. And this, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound so dirty and fucking picky and shit.
You and I are Fallout nerds. We
no, it's fine. No,
I'm
just saying in Fallout there are some ghouls who have been alive since when the bombs dropped.
Right.
Yeah, like in Fallout 4.
Right.
The salesman's still alive.
Yeah, people. If you were around, you have a chance of becoming a ghoul. Not everybody has a chance of becoming a ghoul. There's a process of ghoulification which happens like hundreds of years into the future, and that's why they look like that and they have the raspy voice. So it's not something that happens immediately when the bomb drops.
Damn,
that's why I didn't want to get technical and nerdy and shit.
Went and smoked all the menthols.
Yeah.
Some
of them did. Some of them did.
I can smoke now.
Yeah, they a lot of them did do that. They just abuse chems and shit, and I mean. Well, that's the part that's interesting to me because there's like even like the Ghoul City, which is technically on the West Coast. Necronomic, I forget the city's name. It's in Fallout 1 and 2, but it's just a city full of ghouls and stuff, right? So, I mean, it would be cool if like a character like Harold, like just like shows up in the show, right? Like that would be cool, right? So. We'll see. That's the part that makes me excited. And Jonathan Nolan is a good writer, and he also actually loves Fallout. Like he's talked about a lot about how much he loves the series. So that actually gives me hope that this is not going to be, the crap we've been getting.
Well, because they did show in the trailer. They showed, I think it's Ella Purnell. She's playing like a vault dweller. Like she comes out of the vault from hibernation. So. That's the interesting thing where it's like typically in Fallout the reason that you're always a vault dweller is because it's like you're coming to learn the world the same as your character is, right. Like you're just dropped in the middle of nowhere being like, where the hell am I? What the hell's going on? And
now we get to see that in the third person.
Yeah, that's the part that's interesting to me because they might make vault dwellers like assholes because technically they are. Right. That's the thing the game's never explored is that they're entitled people, right? Because
some of them just got roped into it though. They're just like, okay, I'll sign you this. Some vault dwellers got bad. I
mean, Fallout 1 is pretty bad of what happens to your character. It's like, damn. It's like, damn, this guy went on a whole ass journey and they kicked him out.
Don't, bro. I intend to play Fallout 1 soon. Don't no spoilers.
I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in Fallout.
Whole journey, you just said nah.
It's so depressing, and also too. That's another thing is that I'm curious is that Bethesda games. Well, yeah, the Bethesda games are somber, but they also have a really weird humor that fans kind of.
Yeah,
it's dark. It's really it's a very.
It is dark.
It's like a dark, dry kind of humor.
Yeah,
it's not.
But some fans though, kind of like. They're like a little bit like I don't like it because Fallout 1 is very grim and depressing. Like there's really no jokes in it, and there's a lot of. I think that Fallout 1 is very messed up in terms of what actually happens, to characters and the whole situation. So I'm curious to see if that translates in the show or if they go with more of the.
I don't think they started injecting humor into the series until like really like what Fallout 3.
It was more Fallout 3. Fallout 2 is wacky and silly too, but Fallout 3 is the humor that everybody knows, right? So
yeah, then New Vegas took it to another level, which I love.
Right,
but and then Fallout 4, I mean, like it's kind of like Skyrim in a way, it's like wacky stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I love about Fallout 4, though.
Yeah,
I do love that too. Like the boy in the fridge.
I love Fallout 4, but I know that a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah,
I love.
I like Fallout 4 mostly because of the companions. I think it's a really good companions.
Yeah.
One of the darkest, inadvertently funny moments to me was in Fallout 3. So RJ, spoiler for Fallout 3. Not
I
that
played
big of a
Fallout
spoiler.
3 a long time ago, so it's okay.
Oh well,
It's been a long time though, so I probably forgot.
When you set off the nuke in Megaton,
Oh yeah!
and you go back to to the city, and that one woman is still alive as a ghoul, and she's still like chipper.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Was she a ghoul before you launched the nuke?
No one was a ghoul. I don't think ghouls were allowed in Nukaton. Or
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah.
Or in Megaton. So Nukaton. Jesus. Megaton. Anyway, so yeah, you go back. Everyone's dead for the most part except her, and she's just like, "Oh dear." Like she has like that 1950s white woman voice.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
It's oh man, yeah, there's a lot of just crazy
I'm a ghoul
stuff.
now. I guess I'm gonna wander the earth forever until I go feral.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's life. But I'm like,
I mean, this is gonna turn into a whole Fallout discussion, but like the biggest issue I had with Fallout 4 is that I felt like the factions really sucked in that game.
Yeah,
Like there was
I
no
told
like
Bill,
clear, like there was no like gray area or like the Institute like was very like they were clearly bad guys and like the game didn't try to hide that, didn't try to do anything nuanced, you know.
What?
And then the Minutemen were boring as hell, but you know.
I don't know. Hold on, RJ. I'm gonna let you finish that, but I need your help. There's a settlement that needs your help.
Yeah, that shit was annoying.
Preston, leave me alone. I don't want to help right now.
Listen, I hear you, but I just need you to know. Now there's two settlements that need your help in opposite directions.
Yeah, I was like,
very far away
God.
too.
I never brought Preston along for anything ever.
Same.
The best companions in Fallout 4 were Nick Valentine
Nick.
and Piper.
I mostly just use Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker.
Nick and my friend was just telling me about this character because I forgot about him. The guy who changes his disguises and he's bald. I can't remember the character's name, but he was funny.
Yes. He was cool too.
Yeah, he was part of the railroad. Yeah.
Because there was who was the robot that could turn into a chick? Who was that?
What? Curie.
Curie.
Yeah.
Curie. Yeah.
Curie. Curie.
Yeah.
So
the
I
French
love
robot
Curie.
was like
Yes.
Fuck it. Call me a simp. Those all three of them were my favorites.
Oh man.
I really like Piper. There's Piper.
Piper,
there was
Kate,
Yeah.
Curie. I carried them not even just because for the perks, but I just love them as characters, especially Piper. Piper
was a really good character.
If you guys love the companions, man, from what I heard for Starfield, you guys are gonna really love it, man, because it's crazy.
My boy Cleo on X was asking the real questions with some of them, like, hey,
right?
So are they romanceable? Like,
but from what I heard, they do a lot of stuff that might get you pissed off. But it's like, I can't believe they put this in the game. Like that must have taken how long to just even program that. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, obviously, because of spoilers. But yeah. Bethesda is always, I feel like, good at companions. Better than I'm sorry, but I didn't really care too much about the companions in New Vegas. They only have like a couple of them.
The only New Vegas' companions.
loves the companions in New Vegas.
No. Like no.
I agree with the ones with what RJ's gonna say. But yeah.
Like, to me, like the companions are very underwhelming, except for like a couple, and that would be Cass, Veronica, Ed, Raul, and Lily. Those are the best ones. The other ones, like I didn't care much for Boone. I didn't really care much for the Doctor dude. I didn't really care much for and honestly, like the only like in terms of companions, like, the most interesting ones story wise, I felt were Cass and Veronica, and that was really it.
Cass, I don't know if you know this, but Cass's her dad is in Fallout 1. I'm not sure if he's in Fallout 2, but
yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well then, that's something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Fallout show. I know that Braille's looking forward to the Fallout show.
Yep.
I think you say RJ. We're all looking forward to the Fallout show. It's gonna be.
Yes.
I think
I
it's
hope
gonna
it's
be. It's gonna be a really good prime example of.
Do you think it's gonna open the door to them doing like a Elder Scrolls adaptation?
Most likely.
I think so, but I think if this show's successful, you know what's going to get greenlit, Meta, from Amazon, Mass Effect, because they're the ones who have the rights to that.
Didn't
Technically,
Netflix announced they were going to do a Mass Effect show?
No,
no, it was Amazon.
What the? Oh, so it's taking them forever, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because then they
Henry
also get the
Cavill's
license
also supposed to be attached to Henry Cavill's supposed to be attached to Mass Effect.
Henry Cavill was trying to pitch it, but because Amazon is dealing with the rights, so I don't know if he's going to be attached to it. It'd be cool though if he was Shepard. But we'll see.
Well, here's the thing though, like that's the Shepard thing though, but that's a whole discussion. Like for me,
Yeah.
I always thought Fem Shep was better than male Shepard.
Well, I think if they do the show,
I think they treat her as canon, yeah.
yeah. But I think if they're gonna do the show, my theory was that they were just gonna have like a sibling, right? So you have two, the female and the male, just because you could please
Shane
fans easier.
Shepard, savior of the
Yeah.
universe. John Shepard.
I don't
Miles
think
Texas.
so. I don't think so. I think if they
I think it would work pretty well for a show, though.
I think they should do
could,
something. I
but-
think they should do something like. I really want them to do something like Fallout, where it's an original. Because Mass Effect, as an idea, just like
Mhm.
Fallout, has so much untapped potential.
Well,
issue. The last time they tried doing original stuff that wasn't Shepard, we got Andromeda.
yeah.
But that's Andromeda. If the same person, like if for example, the guy that does Fallout does Mass Effect,
I kind of prefer if they just did the trilogy as a TV show and
that
then
could
go
actually
from
be a
there.
good show.
Yeah.
You could do something good with that because you could do like
I'm just saying, man,
at
like-
least like 4 or 5 seasons of that.
We'll have to see what they do exactly. But I'm sure if Fallout is successful, that's the next one.
Adaptations though, because they also have what the God of War TV
Yeah.
show.
they have God of War and Horizon.
Well,
No,
Horizon's Netflix.
Horizon's
Yeah.
Netflix. Excuse me.
Well, if when we do the Gran Turismo, well, I might have a theory about something. Because I could, after watching that movie, I was like, it seems something's going to happen with Horizon that's not just that TV show. I could kind of see it happening now.
Talk about that afterward.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone. We're gonna start winding down. I think this was a pretty fun time. Gamescom. You know, we're finally leaving the summer of games.
And now we're getting into the gaming blitz where there's going to be like 1,000 games coming out.
No.
And everything. The fall is going to be crazy this year, y'all. Starfield is this week, man.
Yeah.
The fall, the rise of games was the summer, and the fall of my bank account.
Oh,
is
jeez.
this holiday season. Because god damn.
Yeah, it's going to be a
We
lot.
ain't recovering until probably spring of next year, if we're lucky. Like, dog, it's gonna be
Yeah.
insane. Oh, we got Starfield. For me, I have Starfield, Eternites, Like a Dragon in November, Persona 5 Tactica, Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, Sonic Superstars, Mario RPG. Like
Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, I'm not getting Baldur's Gate 3 at launch, but I do intend to get it because
I'll get
not
it
gonna
at
lie,
launch for Xbox.
I don't know who. I don't
Mhm.
know what the Fire girl's name is, but I yeah, we I now have a reason to buy that game.
Oh, you're talking about Karlach.
Karlach, bruh. Now I know her name. That's
Well,
it. It's over.
There's Karlach, there's Lae'zel, there's Shadow Horror.
No, don't need to know all of them. I have my one. I'm good. I like. I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Actually, Larry
max
just
out
put
our
out-
fire resistance.
Take those fire resistant elixirs.
I love that so much.
Yeah, that meme was pretty funny.
It's so fucking funny. It's so funny. But all right. But yeah, folks, that's going to do it for us for this episode of Controller Chronicles. Hopefully it doesn't get copyright struck with all the trailers and stuff. But, you know.
If it does, then we deal with it then.
We deal with
No,
it then.
man.
But let us know, let us know in the comments what games are you looking forward to this fall? What games from Gamescom are you excited about? Let us know. Interact with us, please, please. And if you have, and while you're at that, if you're new to the channel, seeing this, hi. If you could please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It it's helping us reach our goal of how many subs, RJ, by the end of the year? 100.
100?
100. Or no, 50. Or
50.
It's 50 right now, but with how we're going,
I would like to
100.
get to 100, but you know.
We're aiming for 50, but anyway, that would help with that. So please, again, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you want to chat with us, I'm now gonna give it to RJ first. Where can they find you at, RJ, if they want to talk to you?
You can find me on X. Gonna give it to you at Resident Justice. Same for Instagram, Threads, everything else, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank y'all so much for listening and tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. When next we meet, we'll be discussing Gran Turismo, the new Sony movie based on the video game. And
actually,
yes,
we're gonna be doing that. We already done that by the time this comes out.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then the next time you'll hear from us is when we drop our Starfield impressions.
That'll also be out as well.
Okay, then you'll find us whenever. I don't know.
We'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you when we do another episode then.
Yeah.
Either way, well, go check out that content then. Go check out
the content. Yes, that's the way to do this. Go check out the content, please. All right. And Braille, where can they find you at as they stare into your white avatar?
Yeah, you can find me on Threads. I mean, I still post on X, but I'm just keeping it because of the channel and stuff. So, and some other people are not on. Yeah, for business purposes, right? But yeah, you can follow me on there.
All right, and then you can, of course, find me on my YouTube channel, Friendly Neighborhood Meta. I currently have I have a review up for Spatially Unbound I did a while back. You can check that out. I have a couple of streams that I've done playing Jack and Daxter, Spider-Man Remastered, played a few different demos. Check those out as well. And if you want to while you're there, please do subscribe. I'm on the road to 100, and I'm almost there. I'm very happy about that. But yeah. What else is there? Oh yes, you can also find me on my X account at.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention something.
What's that?
We did forget to talk about this, and I do want to mention this very quickly. There will be on August 31st. There will be a Mario Direct, so we might be covering that as well. So if we did cover that, go check that out on the channel as well.
We will more than likely cover that. Yes. You can find me you can find me on my Mr. X account at Friendly Neighborhood Meta, and you can find me on Threads, even though I'm not on there as often. You can find me by looking up Friendly_Neighborhood_Meta. If you wanna chat about gaming or other stuff like comics and stuff like that, I am always down for that. But yeah, until next time, folks. As I always say on my channel, please do relish the past, enjoy the present, and embrace the future. We will see y'all next time. Until then, everyone, have a good night, stay safe, and peace out.
Everybody.
Peace.